a lot of these supplement companies compel their athletes to do a lot of dumb shit as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They will just say like, oh, you need to like make a spectacular reel. And like, again, I'm going on a spiel. My apologies, but I want to say this thing. You see this with stuff like High Rocks and all this stuff. Athletes are no longer the focus. Spectacles become the focus.
Yeah.
All right. And that is how you cook an entire sport very simply. Right. NOJO is a great example of this thing. Could that guy beat Rondel? I very well think so. He could. Right. But like if it's all YouTube and like cloud kind of a situation, you may run the risk of this thing. I don't think Rondel is the kind of guy who does anything for clout, right? Like in all his years of training, from what I've seen, the guy is just structured. He has his fun. If he has a bad day, he has a bad day in the office, right? But like in India, what I've not noticed is like companies will sponsor someone and says, well, my pre-workout, we need a reel about this thing. And the guy goes off plan and just fucking overshoots by like 5
because
RP
the
points.
only way, the most like the people are only so creative. No, they like the only way they can show that this works is by hitting a new number or something like that. That's
Based
basically
off of
how
that
you
thing.
show. Yeah, because when you'll take a pre-workout and you'll be like, yeah, because of this new pre-workout, I was able to do this number. Is what you kind of want to say, right? That's the way it works. Because if it's not that, then nobody wants to use that pre-workout also. They'll be like, oh, does it work? Does it not work? But you haven't hit a PR, so how do I know it works? Which is why they'll just force themselves. So supplement companies usually throw people under the bus this way. The athletes, like the athletes are just forced to, they're also forced to just do something that they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, this is where like advertising and this whole thing about like this manufacturing consent, this narrative thing becomes very risky, right? This is why like whenever an athlete like peddles a thing and says, my reason for success is because I took this stuff. There's this thing about creatine in India where like people will advertise creatine and saying, this is the reason why I am the second coming of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, probably not, dude. Probably not, right? But this is where like, again, if you can culturally separate yourself from the internet, you become a lot better, I feel, as a human being.
That's true. And like you spoke about this last time as well, just anchoring it to that is just not, I wouldn't even say it's not just the optimal one. It's also going to be degrading a little bit. Putting all of your work.
No, this is conscientious prostitution, dude. Like for a lack of better term, right? You're just selling yourself in the worst ways possible.
Yeah. And it's socially validated, if I were to say it like that. Like so, you're not really.
Honestly, like this is why like you'll see these guys from Dagestan and like the Caucasus come and they have no social media and they just come. Nobody's ever heard of them. Their last name is something of, and they just like maul like guys for no reason, and then they go back to their villages.